Well, God can legally take the death sentence off you because Jesus paid the fine in his life's blood, because of his death and resurrection. And all you have to do to find everlasting life and get out of the futility of this existence is repent of your sins and trust in Jesus. Do you know what repentance is?
Yes.
Well, you turn from sin. You don't play the hypocrite. If you're on a plane 10,000 feet up and you had to jump, why would you put on a parachute?
To live.
Yeah, you don't want to die. And the motivation is fear. And that fear is your friend. It's not your enemy. It's doing you a favor. And guys, because I love you, I've tried to put the fear of God in you today. I've tried to make you scared, make you.
So this is Ray Comfort apparently trying to scare somebody who he claims is the most likable atheist ever. So we're going to get into it. I am Brentley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. Damn, the gang's all here. All right. What's up, y'all? So this is Ray Comfort. He claims this dude right here is an atheist. I haven't watched this video like at all. I just skipped to the end where he basically always kind of does the same parts around the same minute line, so I can always pretty much just go to that part of the video. And I mean, you could pretty much just go to any part of this video and find him being silly, right? So find him saying something stupid. So I just went to the end and I was like, all right, here we go. But yeah, I don't know how this video goes, or if this guy actually does change his mind. The way that the thumbnail was set was that this guy changes his mind. It says, watch his mind change, and has an arrow pointing to his mind, I guess. I don't but yeah, so let's get into it. Let's see what happens.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. It's quite simple. Do you believe that?
I don't. Everything that's happened is all pure chance. The passion you're giving in a belief for the foundation of life is immaculate, sir. I respect it. I love it.
Oh, that's great.
I love passion, and if it's honest passion like the one I'm feeling from you, I'll believe it.
Nathan and Jacob, they're
What?
good Bible names. Did you know that?
If it's honest passion, I'll believe what? Okay. I guess this is the intro. All right.
You know who Nathan was in the Bible?
I do not.
You don't know what he did?
No.
He did something incredible. And your name's Jacob?
Yes, sir.
You know that's the Bible name?
Yes, sir. I've been told many times.
And he had his name changed to Israel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's you read the Bible.
I don't. So,
You don't?
I've tried.
You've tried?
It's awful. It's boring and it sucks. And it's complete nonsense.
I've
You
tried.
couldn't read or something?
God, he's such an asshole. It's so funny. It's like these people, Christians do this a lot, where they think that just because they say something with like a polite sounding inflection in their voice, that they're not a fucking asshole, But he sits there and like calls people names, He calls them like a blasphemous, degenerate, whatever the fuck. Like he goes through this like list and it's like, so you're just admitted that you're all these things. Usually because they admit that they did something once or at least once, and that makes them that thing anyway. But yeah, so I mean, he's like, y'all know how to raid? I'm a good Christian. No, that was a joke. That was a joke. No, it wasn't, man. Go fuck yourself. You're just an asshole that talks nice.
I can't understand it.
You can't? Well, look, let me start it off for you. In the beginning,
There isn't anything to understand. Okay. This is why. And here's the funny part about this is that everybody thinks that they understand it, right? All the different like denominations of Christians, all the different doctrines, all the different interpretations of their doctrine, of their religion, they all think that they're the ones that understand this book. But the truth is there's nothing to fucking understand. It's a book. It's like an ancient book, like put together from a bunch of books that have just been sort of saved, that were like religious oral, traditions from the past. It's complete and utter idiotic nonsense 90% of the time. Sometimes you might get a city in the right spot, but that's about it. That's as close as you kind of get to anything being reasonable to believe in that book, or anything making sense. But
God created the heavens and the earth. It's quite simple. Do you believe that?
of course, it's
I
not.
don't. You don't.
So what was in the beginning?
In the beginning, there was nothing.
So I believe in
Yeah, I
everybody
disagree
has
with
the right to an
I mean,
opinion. And you're
I just got this book. What's it called? Brief Answers to Big Questions by Stephen Hawking, and he has kind of an interesting take on the universe out of nothing kind of situation with like the negative energy and I guess positive energy, and like going. It's like a big mathematical type of equation situation. So in that sense, I kind of get what he's talking about, and he does use the word nothing, but I think he means something different when he uses the word nothing, because I don't know. But I haven't really gotten into it. I just read the first chapter, but yeah. But so I don't know. But I don't. I feel like it's weird to use the word nothing, just because I don't know. It's to me philosophically incoherent. But I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken.
your God is real. If your God is true, my God is real. If my God is real.
Okay, let's just take that to a logical conclusion. If my God's a pink elephant floating in the sky, is that real?
It is real.
No, it's not. There's no pink elephant floating in the sky just because I believe in it. Look, try that with the sun. Look at the sun and say, I believe it's made of ice and it comes out at night and it's square. No, it doesn't change reality, is what I believe. Am I right?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But the stuff in the book that you believe is as stupid as what you just said. There's a part in the Bible where the sun stands still, man. Like there's a part where an axe head floats, a fucking donkey talks, like everything. Like you're acting like, oh, it's so silly. I could just say that I believe in a square moon that's made of ice or whatever, and that's so silly. And then meanwhile, he's actually believing that a fucking donkey talked and a whale didn't digest a man and every other stupid thing that's in the fucking Bible. It's ridiculous.
Okay, in the beginning was nothing.
Yes, sir.
How did it?
All right. The answer is I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Let's see. The Bible is let me see. Michael said. The Bible is what caused me to become an atheist. Yeah, exactly. Me too. Well, I mean, there was a confluence of things that caused it, but that was a big part of it. Going back and reading the Bible and just remembering certain things in the Bible, where it was like God ordering really shitty things, and like God can be a jealous God. I remember that messing me up when I was a kid, being like, how come? Why is God saying that he's a jealous God, but then he says that jealousy is a bad thing? How can then he be perfect? I remember just like that one simple. I was like 8 years old, going, I feel like there's something wrong here, But I noticed real quick that if I brought it up, people got really upset, so I just stopped bringing it up. But
everything come about? Now I'm talking about flowers and birds and trees, the sun, the moon, the stars, male and female, the marvels of the human eye, puppies and kittens.
Okay. Wow.
How did all that come about?
Y'all have been here for a minute. I'm sorry. I didn't realize there was so many comments already. Cool. Worm Fruit said, this guy's hairline is a tragedy. I have long blonde hair and going bald may be my biggest fear. Yeah, it sucks too. I'm actually, I've got the receding thing going on right now. It's just, once you get past your mid 30s, it's depending upon, unless you're like some super duper hairy guy that just got super genetically lucky, but you're gonna have that walking back, right? I'm probably gonna look like Hunter S. Thompson by the time I'm 42. Okay, so don't feel bad, buddy. I get it. It's funny too. There's this punker dude that plays around town here. I always called him Billy Scam because I remember him from the Scams. But his name's Billy. I can't remember his last name. But yeah, he had, he always had a mohawk, and it was funny because like the last time I went and seen him at a show, I was like, holy shit, that's Billy. And he had a bihawk, and I was like, what? When did he switch from the mohawk to the bihawk? And then if you look closely though, you can see why real quick. There's nothing there in the middle. It's like, I was like, oh man, but it still look cool, It's fucking Billy, so he's always gonna be cool. It's all right.
There was nothing.
I would like to say pure chance. Everything that's happened is all pure chance.
Well, describe it to me. What happened in the beginning?
Absolutely nothing.
No, so well, you have nothing if there was nothing in the beginning that created nothing. So you couldn't have creation if there was just nothing. Let me ask you guys a question.
We don't know. That's the thing. Like, and what do you mean by nothing, and so on and so forth. I think there was something. We just don't know what it is, and it was nothing like anything we have ever seen, and it was like it wasn't even the same size. As far as I could tell, it was possibly smaller than a proton or whatever. Like it was teeny, teeny, tiny, and then it expanded. But that was still something. So I don't know. I you know, I gotta, like I said, I gotta read that book, and possibly too. I want to get the other book, the cosmology book, the A Universe Out of Nothing, because I hear that has a lot of good arguments in it as well for this type of situation. But you know, it's a lot of it's like based on the science. You know, a lot of these things is like where kind of philosophy sort of intersects with science. But yeah, because science just answers like how, right? Like how things work and stuff. I think philosophy answers the why, right? Unless I'm mistaken on that. But I swear it's like you know, science kind of just maps things out based on the evidence, right? So it's not inferring things that it doesn't know, right? And whatnot. And that's exactly what Ray wants to do here. He wants this kid who's being very honest. I'm going to be straight up. He wants him to just act like he knows exactly what happened in the beginning, which starting out the gate, I feel like he's already wrong for saying that he knows there was a nothing. I'd be like, I don't know, and neither do you. Okay, let's actually figure this out together, you know, instead of just pretending like we know what it is. And of course, it's your religion and your interpretation of your doctrine of your denomination is all correct and yada, yada, yada. But anyway.
Do you believe the Bible's right when it says that we're in a state of hostility towards God? It says your mind, your natural mind, is in a state of anger towards God. Do you think that's true?
My
It's
mind.
like, as I said, I need to get Punkster a better watch. Dude, these I didn't realize that he has over 1 million subscribers. Did you know that? Ray Comfort has over 1 million subscribers. So I feel like once I saw that, I was like, okay, that's why we need to like focus on this idiot, because this shit's clearly is convincing to people, which I just I don't understand. But so I feel like if it's got that much on the positive end, we need to put at least as much on the negative end, and we all should be just bashing these videos to pieces, okay, and laughing at this guy because he's doing a lot of damage.
Your mind.
No.
And what do you think, Jacob?
I would think so.
You think so?
I would think so. I didn't have the choice to be put on this earth.
So you're angry at God for giving you life?
What?
Yeah.
How the fuck do you do? How do you get to that? Hold on.
Have you ever tried to commit suicide?
To be honest, yes, sir.
And what caused that?
Anger.
Towards who?
Anything and everything I could lay eyes on. I don't understand any of this. None of this is going to make sense whether or not there is a deity or a God above us. Like this fly right here. This, like, it was pure chance that he came to us. No God, no being, no higher power told this fly, hey, come here at this time. And
How do you know that?
Huh?
How do you know that? You seem very confident in your judgments.
Because everything's up to pure chance.
It can't be. That's absolutely impossible. I'll tell you why.
What do you mean it can't be? So this is interesting because a lot of this stuff, like I always wonder when when people say that it can't be just chance, it can't be just chance. I always want to ask, like, okay, what are the chances then? What are the odds? Let's do the math here. What are the odds that the universe came into existence? And they always like, well, the odds are just like astronomical or whatever. Okay, but what are they? How do you know what they are? And if you can't calculate how many out of how many universes and yada yada, all this type of stuff, what the chances are, if you don't have a base number to calculate the odds out of, you can't calculate the odds. So it's really weird when they're like, oh, it couldn't just be chance, when it's like you don't even know what the fucking chance is. And if you ask these people about odds at all, or just like ask them like how they like whether how odds work and what is more likely than something else and how to do, they don't know any of it. They're terrible. Like humans just in general, we're terrible at calculating odds. Our brains just don't do it. We have a whole fucking industry based on that. It's called gambling, and the reason it works is because people are so bad at calculating odds. It's like, that's why I always like answer like it was Noah. He always said it, no illusions, be like, do you like to gamble? And he'd be like, nah, I understand math. That's like, because it's you're never going to get more than you spend. Typically, that's always going to be the case, you know. And if you do it frequently, you're going to be losing a lot. But
Your focusing muscles move an estimated 100,000 times a day, just one of your eyes. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Let me explain why I talked
he
about
thinks
us being a
he
state.
thinks like as he talks like that makes it more compelling or something. You're wonderfully made. Listen how I'm inflecting my voice. It's so important.
Of hostility towards God.
Fuck out of here.
Nathan, you said you're not.
Yes.
Ever use God's name in vain?
Oh
Yeah, I
God.
guess I have.
Here we
That's
go.
using God's name as a cuss word. Have you done
If-
that, Jacob?
Hundreds of times, sir.
Yeah.
Thousands.
See, would you ever use
Let's
Hitler?
see. Well, Worm Fruits, we already know where he's going with this one, don't we? Worm Fruits said, oh, you already did that one. Sorry. Azzo said, comb it forward if you sorry, if you start to bald, just an idea. Worm. Yeah, you could always just brush it forward. Although sometimes that looks really weird. I don't know. It depends on what your head looks like. Michael Paul said, "What the fuck? I don't know. What the fuck? I agree. You know what the actual fuck? Seriously." Hornford said, "Ah, yes, the old Trump swoop. The Trump swoop. Oh, like putting the I got you. The hairline. That's funny. Al said, "Hey, what's up, Al? Book it all of human history. The worst. Why the fuck would you read it? Exactly. It's the dumbest book ever. Like, it's the fact that just people like all sit around and think that it's really great. You know, when it's literally a book of nonsense that they can just decide that there are impactful messages that they can pull out of it. You know, when you can do that with anything, just read some philosophy then, man. You know, read some Albert Camus. Like that's so much better than the fucking Bible. It's just absolute and utter idiotic nonsense. You know, and if you know, if you do want to read Albert Camus, the Rebel is really good. Check that out. Let's see. Michael said, the Bible. Oh, we already got that. Bible is what caused me to be an atheist. Yep. Smashing the patriarch said, good morning. Hey, good morning to you. Let's see. Asso said, me too. Michael and I was trying to prove my faith, not destroy it. To prove my. Let's see. One fruit said, as a born and raised Coloradian, I feel obligated to send y'all, I believe, Bigfoot stickers for. Oh, that's what the problem is. It's so small. I'm like I always forget to click the zoom in button. Anyway, as a born and raised Coloradian, I feel obligated to send y'all, I believe, Bigfoot stickers for your Subaru Outbacks. Yeah, I mean, I see those quite often. I'm like, in Florida, it's funny because we have what's called a beaver man. You know, we don't have a Bigfoot. We have a beaver man, which, I mean, come on. They couldn't come up with a better name than that? Really? A beaver man? Come on, that just sounds ridiculous. Plus, can you imagine the face on that thing? It's going to have teeth that's like the sun. Anyway, ridiculous. It's going to look like that Cindy Lou Who or whatever, you know, from the Grinch. Ridiculous. Or any of the Who's, now that I think they all kind of had that buck too. Anyway, beaver man. So, but yeah, I see those like stickers. It's like, you know, I believe in the Bigfoot like all the time. And I'm just like, Florida. Yep, I'm sure everybody does believe this idiotic crap around here. It's like, except that there's again is like they should put on there though the Beaver Man. Like I believe in the Beaver Man because I'm in Florida. You know, it's not Bigfoot. We don't have Bigfoots. And yes, the plural of Bigfoot is Bigfoots. I don't know why we'd be expecting them to be grammatically consistent with big feet. No, it's one big foot, two big feet. Let's see here. We'll let him go for a minute.
His name is a cuss word or someone evil in history? You never have you? Nobody does. Only Jesus Christ and God's name is used as cuss words. And that exemplifies how we're in a state of anger towards God. And the reason we're angry is because he demands moral accountability.
No, that's not. Oh my God. This is so simple. I feel like this is not difficult to figure out. Okay. So the reason I was been thinking about this, because I remember this, he brings this up quite a bit, where he's like, you wouldn't use your mom's name as a cuss word. We wouldn't even use Hitler's name as a cuss word, because none of that has anything to do with why we are cussing, right? The whole reason why we use God as a cuss word and Jesus Christ and all this type of stuff is because there's lots of people that believe that Jesus Christ and God are in control of reality, right? So as a swear, to like you usually are mad at something that happened, right? You're mad that something, somebody did something or whatever, and so something happened in reality that you don't like, right? And so you're like, God damn it, what the fuck, God? Like, you're saying, what the fuck, like Jesus Christ, like, so because that's supposedly the person in control of all the stuff that's happened, you know what I mean? And so you're like cursing the thing that's supposedly controlling everything. Doesn't that make sense? I've been thinking about this a lot. Maybe I'm like off or whatever, but let me know what y'all think in the comments. But I swear that's what this is. You're just cursing the thing that's in control. It's almost like when I am like late for work and I'm coming. There's this one light that that catches me almost every time, and it's a long one, and so I'll be like coming up and I'll be like, please get this light, please get this light, please get this light, please stay green, please stay green, please stay green, and it's like I'm not talking to God. I'm talking to odds, you know what I mean? Like I'm not praying to God, I'm praying to odds. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing there, there's nothing controlling it, right? But I'm just speaking what I'd like to be the case into existence. And it's all based on odds, whether it happens or not. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Right. But I'm just saying what I want. But they would hear that and be like, oh, look, he's praying to God. He's an atheist. It's praying to God. No, I'm not. Praying to odds.
You're
just like those gamblers, right? That's the,
doing things are morally
Right
wrong,
there.
and God frowns on them, and you don't like God for the same reason criminals don't like the police. Am I right?
Yes, that would be right.
This whole place is a waste of time because of death.
Is that right? I mean, okay, so we don't like God because we don't like, but we know, here's the thing. We know police exist. This isn't like some like far off thing that maybe there's cops, maybe there aren't. Maybe there's cops holding somebody responsible at some point, but you can't ever see it, because it's all done behind a curtain, apparently. Which doesn't that just destroy the whole purpose of hell in the first place? Right? Isn't the whole point of punishment that other people will see the punishment and go, I don't want that to happen, and also to remove the people from the position to be able to hurt people if that's whatever it is, but the whole purpose of like punishment, especially like something like hell, it's like something that you kind of need to be able to demonstrate is actually real for it to be compelling at all, right? Because it's like if it's like, oh no, there's punishment and there's reward, but it's all just you can't check, you can't make, can't ever see the punishment or ever see the reward. Just got to believe that it's coming. Okay, yeah, it's all happens after you die. When you're no longer in existence, then you'll get the reward or the fucking punishment. Get the fuck out of here. So stupid.
This life is utterly depressing.
Everything ends. No matter what you achieve, no matter what kind of person you are, everyone ends in some same way.
Yeah. And that's what King Solomon said in the Bible. Nathan, have you heard of King Solomon?
No.
He's the wisest man to ever live outside of Christ. And this is what he said. Because
Outside
of
of
death,
Christ.
the
That's
whole of
interesting.
life is like chasing the wind. It's futile, makes no sense because of that reality of death. You said everything dies.
So hold on. And he's supposed to be the wisest person ever. And he says that nothing matters because we all die. That's really weird, right? I feel like that's almost like saying that the driving or getting a new car is pointless because it's just going to become a rust bucket at some point, So you might as well just drive that thing off a cliff, right? What the fuck? Jesus.
Everything dies but God. Did you know that? He's eternal. Ever heard the Bible verse, the wages of sin is death?
No, sir.
It's very famous. It's saying that God is paying you in death.
It's very famous. Like, why don't you know this? You should know this, okay? It's the most famous book, and it's a very famous line out of that book. It's like, yeah, it's only famous to weird people, okay, man? It's only famous to people that are obnoxious like you.
for your sins. Like a judge looks at a criminal that's murdered multiple women, but he keeps saying, I'm a good person, judge. The judge says, I'm going to show you how serious your crime is. I'm giving you the death sentence. This is your wages. This is what you've earned. And guys, sin is so serious to
Let's see. Smashing the Patriarchy set. Fun fact: the talking donkey in the movie Shrek is based on the donkey from the Bible. And so I did not know that, and that's why I always picture, think of that donkey in the Bible being Eddie Murphy, because it just makes it that much more fun, and still it doesn't make the story any more coherent. But yeah, because that is one of the most absurd stories in the Bible. Like the whole purpose of it doesn't even make sense. Like just go back and read it, and you come and here. I tell you what, y'all, read the story of the talking donkey. If you just put in talking donkey Bible verse, read the whole story. Get back to me and let me know what you think the moral of that story was. Okay, I'm just curious. Let's just have fun with this and see what everybody comes to, because I've read that story several times. And it doesn't, even from a narrative structure, it doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't, like the good guys aren't the bad, like it just doesn't, nothing pans out, even as just an Aesop's fable type of situation, it doesn't pan out.
the holy God. He's given you the death sentence. You're on death row. Your death will be evidence to you that God is deadly serious about sin. I see you nodding. Do you think God is justified to give you the death sentence for your sins? Are you that evil, or are you a good person?
Everyone's evil. Everyone creates destruction in some way or form.
Yeah, see, I already disagree with this guy quite a bit. But Warm Food said, that's the purest smile ever. I feel like I'd meet this person in the Denver skate park and spark a doobie. That's sweet. That's really nice. And I agree. He seems like a really, really nice guy. I don't know if I'd say he's an atheist. Well, I guess he kind of is. Sounds more agnostic if you ask me, because I don't feel like an atheist would put up with this, and be going, I don't know, dealing with this guy calling him names and shit, But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No one is innocent.
That's exactly right. We've all earned our wages. So I'm just going to confirm it to you.
Yeah, see, I just disagree out the gate. No, if you haven't hurt anybody, then you haven't done anything wrong. Like, what even does wrong mean? If we could, you know what I mean? Like, if we could just say that everybody's evil, then the word evil doesn't mean anything anymore. It's almost like the word special. If everybody's special, then nobody's special, because that's the definition of special. You know what I mean? It has to be setting you apart. Like, if everybody's evil, then there's no such thing as evil, right? It's because it completely makes the whole concept meaningless.
By looking at the commandments. Are you familiar with the 10 Commandments?
I have heard of them, yes, sir.
You know why you've heard of them?
He's
Because they're
like,
written on your conscience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like, I almost wonder, do you have like a military father or something? Like, I feel like all the people that like always answer yes sir, no sir, that type of stuff, they always have like some military dad, that forces them to say that too. I had friends like that. They're like, yes, what? Oh, don't you? Yeah, me. Yeah. I'm sorry. I meant yes, sir. Yeah, that's what I thought. I am a sir. God damn it. Now get to your fucking room and clean that shit. Like, what the?
You shall not steal. You shall not lie. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not murder. It's the work of the law written on your heart. So
it's funny that those are the ones he picks, because like, isn't it like don't have any gods before me, and don't worship false images, whatever the fuck. Like, there's just like a bunch of them that aren't even really moral standards or at all. Really, it's just like religious shit.
how many lies have you told in your life?
Plenty.
Too many.
Ever stolen something?
No, sir.
Yes.
Yeah,
Here's the
see,
7th commandment. Jesus said, if you look at a woman and lust for her, you commit adultery with her in your heart. Have you ever looked at a woman with lust?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sex before marriage.
So it's like, this kid is going to be a priest. I'm just saying. Yeah, dude. And this is really sad, because with people like this, where he's clearly dealing with depression and shit, and these are the type of people that he could really fuck with, because they already seem to feel guilt, and if you can get them to be able to internalize the not only, but like take the guilt that they already feel, but internalize your interpretation of their guilt, you can get them to you can manipulate them into feeling bad and then also believing that they need forgiveness from particularly your deity or whatever, because they're already struggling in their mind with certain things like that. You know what I mean? And it seems like this dude, he needs to, he's suffering, and it's really sad that Ray Comfort goes out there and fucks with people who are already suffering and then gives them what he believes is a solution to their suffering, but actually it's worse. It makes it way fucking worse, because now he's getting him to feel shame for things that don't even fucking make sense. Lusting after a woman, a lie that you told 7 years ago, whatever the fuck, just anything that you've ever done in your life. Now you need to feel more guilt for it, because that works into his whole manipulation tactic, which is, just getting you to feel guilt and then offering you the cure for the guilt that he just caused you to have in the first place. It's all a big fucking manipulation. It's sad.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, Nathan, summation for you in your court case. This is for you to judge yourself. You've told me that you're a lying, thieving, blasphemous, fornicating adulterer at heart. And Jacob, you've told me you're a lying, blasphemous, fornicating adulterer at heart. So you've earned your wages.
Oh, he's like, you're not a thieving one. No, you're not a thieving one. I guess he's never stolen anything, but you're a lying, and see how he puts it all in current point, and look at him, the dude just called you a list of fucking names, basically saying that you're a bad person. And, just look at his face. Like, what the fuck? What is happening? I just hope that this dude doesn't actually take this as meaning anything at all, because Ray is just completely dishonest. And this religion is all about just making you feel like shit so that they can cure the feeling like shit. That's it.
So here's where we're going with this. If God judges you by the 10 commandments on Judgment Day, you're going to be innocent or guilty?
Guilty.
Guilty.
Oh, is that
Heaven
it?
or hell?
So Wormfood said Ray Comfort is using a Jehovah's Witness tactic. You create false spiritual experiences with sudden leaps of emotion, guilt, anger, and catharsis turned into a psychic attack. A psychic attack. Damn. Yeah, that makes sense. We've been having these cults and religions institutions for so long. It's almost like a science now of how to manipulate people. You know what I mean? And I feel like Ray has kind of just taken down the notes of how to make people feel like shit, and then deliver them from all of the other past cults and things like that, and just does it on the street, to strangers. It's so fucking gross.
What the hell?
Neither.
Oh.
Well, the Bible says all liars will have their part in the lake of fire. After death, the judgment.
Well, then you're fucked, Ray. Looks like you're gonna be in hell then. Mr. Liar, running around calling everybody names and everything, demanding that everybody know shit they couldn't possibly know, and just act like you're right without any way of demonstrating that you are right. And then try to just shame people into agreeing with you. Go fuck yourself, Ray.
Guys, you may not be concerned that you're going to hell, but it breaks my heart. I've just met you and I love you both. I don't want you to
This dude's like, I love you both. I do. Dude's like, you just met me, but he's like, I love it. This guy, he just laughs like, yeah, right, buddy. Okay. This guy's a fucking idiot.
hell? The Bible says it's a terrible place. If you think death is bad enough, the fear of death, wait till you get on the other side and face a holy God. I'd rather fall on the face.
Smashing Patriarchy said, I work too hard for my money to gamble. I know, right? I don't get the gambling. I don't know. Some people enjoy it, and I'm not yucking yums. If you like gambling, that's cool. I just don't, because I feel like it's such a waste of money. Even with addictive stuff, right? You're like, oh, drugs are a waste of money. At least you get a high out of drugs, right? I mean, it's terrible for you and everything and all that, but gambling doesn't even give you that. You just got the money problems of drug addiction with no highs at all associated. Shit sucks, man. Who the fuck wants to do that? Let's see. Want to bet smash? Let's see. Yeah, same here. Smashing the patriarchy said the odds are never on my side. Yeah, I know. So it's I'm right there with you.
face of the sun than to fall into the hands of the living God. The Bible says it's a fearful thing.
It's
Do you know what
fearful
God did for
thing.
guilty sinners so we wouldn't have to go to hell?
He sounds like
Forgave him?
No.
I can't.
he doesn't know the Bible, man. He doesn't believe your fucking religion. You have to explain your nonsense, dude. Okay, because most of us, like when you're just saying the little bit that you're saying, we don't automatically go, oh, okay, oh, right, because of the God that had to sacrifice himself to himself in order to convince himself to save the world from himself, has all these things that they ask of us. You're right. Like, if you're not familiar with your weird fucking belief system, we're not going to be able to answer your weird questions, man. Just fucking say the thing, okay? Just say the thing that you want them to believe, you know? It's like, God damn.
Imagine.
You actually do know, but because you don't understand it, you
Oh, God, go fuck yourself, Ray. He is such an asshole. He's like a polite asshole. He's a Southern asshole. That's what, or he's just Southern. Now I think about it. Yeah, no, never mind. Because that's sort of what happens down here is, they'll basically tell you around here to fuck off, but like doing it all nice and polite, like, because we're from the South. Christopher said, does the chicken know she's born unto the farm to be made into nuggets? Her grand rooster tells her stories of how the great farmer saved them from the from the wilderness and led them into the promised farm. That's awesome. It's like the lamb to the slaughter. But that's like their version of religion. That's really funny. I like that a lot. And it's just, yeah, it's just to get, and they stay calm, that because they believe they have those beliefs, all those chickens, they just sit and wait to just be slaughtered for the farmer. It's creates compliance is really what it does.
you don't value it. Nathan, do you know?
Give him a second chance.
No. You're going to nod when I say, if you heard of this, if you heard of Jesus dying on the cross,
Let me see here. Look at the tree said, cussing is not what taking the name in vain means. It means lying and saying that told you that it was true. What? Hold on. Cussing is not what it means to take the Lord's name in vain. It means lying and saying that told you that it was true. Oh, saying that God told you it was true? Is that what it is? Like, oh no, this is absolutely, I swear to God, like, that kind of thing. Which I could see that. That makes sense, invoking the name of God. Invoking the name of God in order to like say that something is true or whatever. You believe me, man, believe me. Like, yeah, I could see that. And that would be using God's name in vain because you're using it to convince somebody of something that isn't true. I got you. Okay. That fair enough. That's interesting. I bet my soul and won. The winning streak seems to be a little lucky. I'm starting to think the devil don't want me. Oh yeah.
Have the crucifixion.
almost everybody knows that, but they don't know this. And guys, if you can get a grip of this, it's going to change everything for you. So don't let anything distract you. The 10 Commandments are called the moral law. You and I broke the law. Jesus paid the fine. That's what happened.
Fine. Why does he talk like this? Does that make it more compelling? And Jesus paid the fine.
On that
Like,
cross.
it's
That's
like-
why he said it is finished just
Weird.
before he died. He was saying pay.
Wait, but I thought he said, forgive them for they know not what they do. And, and 6 other things that are somehow all the final words of Jesus. Actually, I know. You'd think final words could only be like a sentence, but they have 7 sentences that are all different. They are the final words of Jesus. Look it up.
Paid in full. Guys, if you're in court and you've got speeding fines, a judge will let you go if someone pays those fines. You say you're guilty, but someone's paid your fine, you can leave, and it's legal. He lets you go. And God can
legal. Can you believe that?
legally take the death sentence off you because Jesus paid the fine in his life's blood, because of his death and resurrection. And all you have to do to find everlasting life and get out of the futility of this existence is repent of your sins.
Futility? What does that mean? You're saying this existence is totally futile? That's so dangerous. Don't say that to somebody that has depression. What are you doing, man? Yeah, this life doesn't even matter, buddy. I know you got like crippling depression and everything, but remember, this life's nothing, you know? So don't even worry about it. This whole life's just futile. It's just worthless, okay? All right, go home. Make good decisions. See you later. What the fuck is wrong with you, Ray?
And trust in Jesus. Do you know what repentance is?
Yes.
Well, you turn from sin. You don't play the hypocrite. If you're on a plane 10,000 feet up,
It's like, that's me. I play the hypocrite because I'm a liar. And then I run around the streets calling other people liars. But because I said the magic words, it's all okay.
and you had to jump, why would you put on a parachute?
To live.
Yeah, you don't want to die. And the motivation is fear.
Hey, you know what?
And that
Oh.
fear is your friend. It's not your enemy. It's doing you a favor. And guys, because I love you, I'll
what's
try
up,
to
man?
put
Well, folks, it's here. I've gone wrong with a beaver. I ended up in jail. An animal control was called. Long nights of drinking and grand theft auto was just in the beaver's head for some reason. So, in the beaver's head, I feel like there's probably a sexual innuendo somewhere in there. You know, let's see here. I can think of it. You know. And if you want to be a beaver man, go to adamandeve.com. How about that? That was good, right? That was solid. Oh, and like and subscribe and share the show and all that type of stuff. Comment below if I get anything wrong. But main thing is, if you're a beaver man, Adam and Eve has got the stuff for you. Okay. Just go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley. That's BRENTLY at checkout for 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Just go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley. That's BRENTLY at checkout and get your exclusive offer. Yeah. So all beaver men welcome, you know, ass men, boob men, beaver men, just doesn't matter, you know. And all women too, and you know, all non-binary folks too as well. Just doesn't matter. Just everybody. Just go there to have fun having sex. That's the whole point. All right, here we go.
the fear of God in you today. I've tried to make you scared, make your mouth go dry a little.
He's falling asleep, man. Did you see that? Hold on, let me try this again. His dude was like, what? Oh, you see, oh man, I had a dream that I was burning in the lake of fire. And then I woke up disappointed because I'm still here talking to this fucking weirdo.
Yeah. And that
Watch
fear
this,
is your
watch this,
friend.
watch
It's
this,
not
watch
your enemy. It's doing you a favor. And guys, because I love you, I've tried to put the fear of God in you today. I've tried to make you scared, make your mouth go dry, heart palpitate, hoping
It looked like they even cut something out. Like it just blipped for some reason. I don't know.
you'll see that fear is your friend, not your enemy. Because it'll make you mean business with a God that gave you life. And instead of going your own way, you'll be serious with God and say, God, I've done things I know are morally wrong. I've fornicated, looked at
just-
pornography, used your holy name as a curse.
Pornography. How could looking at pornography hurt anybody at all ever? I don't understand this. Like, you're a bad person for looking at pornography? What? That's fucking crazy, man. Like, what are you talking about? That hurts nobody, including you. In fact, it's actually pretty healthy. You know, you don't want to get backed up like that. You know, just like it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. You need a frequent release. You know what I'm saying?
Word. I need your mercy.
You don't
And if
you don't want to turn into a proud boy. That's how they make proud boys into proud boys. You know that? They tell them they're not allowed to masturbate, right? And then we wonder why they're all a bunch of crazy lunatic assholes that just want to get in fights all the time. You know what I mean? Like, and get beat up while naming cereal brands or some stupid shit. I don't know. I get that, you know, again, when you get wound that tight from not having fun that much, you're gonna probably end up thinking up stupid rituals like cereal punching too. I don't know.
if you repent and trust in Christ, you get everlasting life as a free gift, not because you're good, but because God is good and kind and rich in mercy. Is this making sense?
It can within time.
Okay, let me try and
it's like one person said, I'm also mad at Emperor Palpatine, but saying Sidious, damn it, doesn't have the same ring. Right? Yeah. Sidious, damn it. That's actually kind of cool. That could be a good name for a band right there. There's a punk band right there. Sidious Damn It. I think that's pretty good. That could work. You know, I can picture the flyer now. Sidious Damn It. It's got some like guy like peeing on a wall in the background or something. You know, some dude with Liberty Spikes peeing on a wall. Anyway, it's a whole thing. But yeah.
Speed it up for you. You're on the edge of eternity. You could die tonight in your sleep and you'll go to hell. Nothing to think about.
Prove it, man. Can you? I wish you would just fucking like. He just keeps on acting like he's right, and he'll just sit there and you're gonna die tonight and go to hell. Fucking prove it, dude. And how do you know you're not going to Muslim hell, man? You're a Christian. They literally say in the Quran you're going to Muslim hell, and they even describe the Muslim hell that you'll be fed rotten fruit for all eternity. Like, how come you're not afraid of that, Ray? How come that you don't need a backpack for that? Oh, because that's, you don't find that convincing. Okay. Yeah. Neither does anybody else, or should anybody else anyway. They shouldn't feel afraid of something that's as nonsensical as an obvious manipulation tactic as something like hell.
This is your life we're talking about. Your
No, it's
precious
not.
life.
No, this is the life that we're talking about. You fucking idiot. Like, he's already alive in the life, the real life, the actual one, the true one, the one that we know he gets. He's in that one. The one that you're talking about is not a life. It's something after, it's after you die. It's exactly not your life that you're talking about.
It's not just your eyesight. You wouldn't sell an eye for $1 million, would you?
No, sir.
What?
You're selling both
Why
for
not?
100.
Why not? I think I could do without one of these suckers. You know what I mean? And then you get one of those cool eye patches. You know what I'm saying? Or go the glass eye route, like in Last Action Hero, have like little smiley faces and stuff. I'm just saying, $1 million. You can get a lot of glass eyes for $1 million. It could be cool. Could be a lot of fun.
Million?
Just saying.
Wouldn't even think of it because they're so precious to you. And your eyes are merely the windows of your soul. The real you looks out those eyes. And Jesus said you despise your eye compared
What
to
does that mean? Like, that's I see that he thinks that's like really profound. It's like, you're actually the one inside your brain. Wow, I never thought of it that way, Ray. Good one. Good call. You're right. I never thought about that it was me and behind my eyes. Like
the value of your soul. He said if your eye calls you to sin, pluck it out and cast it from you. For it's better to enter to heaven without an eye than go to hell
weird.
with both your eyes, where the fire is never quenched and the worm never dies. You're gonna think,
I never understood that. Like, is that something that most people want? And is that something that people want in life? Like, we were very happy with the fact that worms die. That is very important to us here in this reality. So some place where worms don't die, well, that is just awful. That's like, what, dude? As Wolfo said, I'm a pot smoker. Wait, I'm a smart poker. Okay. Good one. That took me a second. Smart poker. And a bunch of my regulars are cops. Granted, they are regular customers at my store and have nothing to do with me personally, but I like them just fine. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have necessarily a problem with cops. I think I have more of a problem with the institutional holes that, the holes within the system that allow cops to be able to do things. I don't know, like have a fucking graveyard out back in Mississippi where they can just kill people and then just bury them in the backyard of a fucking police station. The fact that things like that are possible means there's some serious problems there. But that's the type of shit that pisses me off. It's not necessarily each individual, it's the fucking system that is fucked.
think about what we talked about.
Probably.
What about
This dude's just laughing. I love it. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm thinking about, I will be thinking about all sorts of silly stuff too. Yep. Right now I'm thinking of a clown on a high wire on one of those little unicycle things. So I think about all sorts of stuff. All right. So got you, Ray. You don't worry about it. You'll be in there too. You probably will be the clown up on the thing. Something fits there. I don't know why. It's almost like a perfect category for you to fit in, the clown thing. I don't know. Anyway.
you, Jacob?
I love lessons, and if this is a lesson, I'll take it.
Well, I want you to think about my tone. Why am I talking to you with such passion? It's because I know what
Because you're on camera, man. Your voice is on camera. You're doing an act. This is performance art. It's ridiculous Christian performance art, but it is performance art. It's actually street performance art. Like the most annoying kind of street performance art you can think of.
what I'm saying is true. And
It's
I'm
not, though.
desperately concerned for your salvation. So I want you to go away here not probably thinking about it,
Is he falling asleep?
but realizing how serious this issue.
He's like, please don't look at me any longer. This is very awkward. Okay. I am fully over this conversation. I'm done. Can we, I could use a beer. Okay. That's where
Because you could die in your sleep tonight. You may not get to go to sleep. You could have an aneurysm, heart attack, killed on the way home. And you don't want to lose your precious life. Even though you say this life makes you mad, you love it.
What? You love it. Who the fuck are you, man? That just makes me so angry when he sits there, and because he does this a lot, where he'll sit there. 1 second, I'm sorry, I'll get back to that. Where he does this, where he's like, you should be appreciative, basically. I know you say you don't like life, but you actually love it. What the fuck, man? If they start the conversation by saying, I didn't ask to be here, I'm pretty sure they don't love it. And here's the thing. Nobody asked to be here, you know, and that's fine. Like, it's crazy to sit there and say that the people that are in existence and suffering actually do like their existence here. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know, but this is where I just get irritated with like people wanting to force a bunch of people into existence. Like with by banning birth control and other things like that. Because then you're just creating more people that didn't ask to be here so that they could possibly just be suffering, and just bringing people into existence just for them to suffer is disgusting, because they didn't, nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves to just have nothing but suffering, So it just irritates me when he sits there and is like, no, this is actually good. This life is it. You need to be thankful for the suffering that you're going through. Go fuck yourself, Ray.
love the blue sky, the sound of music, the sound of birds, love and laughter, friends and family. All those things are gifts from God.
Okay, and what about all the starving people that don't have access to any of that shit? Huh? What about all those people? Huh? Fucking ass.
And you've lived with your back to them, and you need to turn to him and say, God, I need to change. I need you to give me
Change
a new
what?
heart. And the miracle of
You even said he's like the sweetest, the most likable atheist ever, but he needs to change. He's already a good person. He's being like unbelievably polite to you, man. If anything, he needs to stay the same, because all you're going to do is make him behave. You're trying to get him to behave more like you, which is more of an asshole, which means he wouldn't be this word any longer, because you definitely aren't, Ray.
being born again or becoming a Christian is that God will give you a thirst for righteousness. Normally, we drink in sin like water, the Bible says.
Michael said, honestly, living in the Bible Belt, I like screaming, God damn. God damn it for shock value. That's awesome. Hell yeah. I bet that stops a lot of people in their tracks. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a fun one. I always like go and play. Like there was a what was it? They're so obnoxious. My old church would buy out. There's like this big pier downtown, and they would basically rent out the whole pier on like Christmas Eve, right? So everybody wanting to go and enjoy the pier on Christmas Eve has to listen to their fucking bullshit, right? And it's always funny to me because I'll like go out and I always make sure to like have my jacket on and shit. So I got this, and that one gets people gets people looking. I see a lot of like, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I like it, especially at events like that, where I'm like, hey, fuck you, man. Nobody said you had to take over the pier, okay? That atheist punkers come to the pier too, you dipshits.
And the minute God gets hold of you, you'll want to do that which is right. And that's your own personal miracle. Can I give you a book I've written called Scientific Facts in the Bible?
Sure thing.
Really?
Do you still believe?
Smashing the Patriarchy said that King Solomon was a godless worshiper. Huh, I didn't know that. I thought he got magical powers from God or whatever, asked for, anything, and then he asked for wisdom or whatever the story. You know the story goes. Let's see. Wormfood said, so at this point, Ray used guilt to bully personal info, found out one guy has existential fear and suicidal ideation, began focusing on that to emotionally manipulate him. Yeah, somebody that's clearly very volatile right now, and you're going to go fucking heaping more guilt onto the guy who, it has what seems like to me clinical depression. So, like, what? How you don't get more harmful than this? This is why I'm having trouble like making jokes at this point, because I'm just fucking furious that this asshole is running around doing this. This is the most damaging shit he could do, is going out and fucking with people's minds that have things, mental issues like clinical depression. It's fucking disgusting, dude. God, they're such bad people. I'm sorry, they're just so harmful, and it's like they don't even get it. They think that because they've said magic words and believe a particular like belief system and believe a particular religion, that's what makes them a good person. Because everybody's actually just bad, right? So the only thing that makes you good is if you just believe my fucking my fairy tale religion thing, right? That's what makes you good. Then he goes out and does stuff like this, possibly leading to people committing suicide. It's fucking disgusting. Like, what a harmful piece of shit. I just
That everything came into being because of
look.
nothing.
Here's the main thing I want to make sure to say here. Make sure to take your meds. If you suffer from any kind of depression, please get help. Go to a mental health professional, and take your medications. Listen to your psychiatrist. Listen to your psychologist. Don't listen to these fucking religious pieces of shit that just want you to feel worse about yourself, as if you need that, right? Please take care of yourselves. All right. Anyway.
Nothing, or are you beginning to rethink because of what we talked about?
Your words are having influence.
Well, that's great. Let me see if I can.
I like that. Yeah, I gotta say he is very likable. But your words are having influence. Interesting. Okay, what a way to say that. He is very interesting.
Prove God's existence to you in about 30 seconds, okay? Every building has a builder. You don't have to see the builder. He could have died.
Calicio is like, comfort. Yep. I know. That's a lot of people seem to like these videos, so I've been going and trying to find some. This just came out, I want to say, like, what, a day or two ago, but it's like I didn't realize it would be this irritating. Like, I mean, not irritating, infuriating. This is infuriating, him messing with somebody's head who clearly has mental issues that particularly can be affected by his shtick. His shtick is to heap shame and guilt on people. And this person who already has depression, like, dude, they do not fucking need that. I wonder how many people he's led to, like, really getting, like, hurting, either seriously hurting in the ER, or altogether being able to go through with it. That freaks me out, that this guy could be that fucking irresponsible.
100 years ago, but there was a builder, because buildings don't build themselves.
Oh my God.
Every
You can see, I feel like he just had like okay, you don't know how thinking works. Like, yeah, it's not an equivocation or anything. Got it. Yeah, okay.
painting
I'm sorry, a false equivalency or anything.
is proof of a painting.
I always mix those two up for some reason. False equivalency and equivocation fallacy. They're not the same things. Equivocation is where you change definitions to serve your argument. False equivalency is where you have two things that are not comparable in a new way, but you compare them to each other in order to make a point. Anyway.
Painter could have died 500 years ago, but you'd never be so foolish to say the painting painted.
Thank you. Michael said Balaam's talking donkey was about pride. Okay. That's what you got. Okay. Interesting. See, this is why I wanted to ask, because I cannot figure it out, because, like, if you read the story, right, Balaam, like, asks to do something. He asks to, like, I think it was a curse or something, and God says no. Then he asks again, and God says yes. And so then he goes to do it, and then God put the angel in the way and stopped him from doing it. But God was the one that told him he could do it when he asked the second time. There are other Bible verses where it says to ask God for the same thing repeatedly. Like that. Jesus, I think there's a parable where Jesus talks about or the woman like asking for the bread or whatever, and she's like, even the dogs get the scraps that fall on the ground or whatever, and it changed Jesus's mind, and there's other stories that say to keep asking the same thing. So, but in that story, he asks God the same thing twice. Time God says no, but then he says yes, but then he goes and stops him through magic, when he's on the road to go do the thing he asked him to do. So it's so fucking weird. So interesting. Pride. So is it because he was prideful enough to ask again? Is that what it was? And so God was like, all right, I'm just going to fuck with him, let him go do the whole thing. And then I'll put an angel in the way, and I'll have the talking donkey explain to him why he needs to just stop. It's ridiculous. So it's like, see what I mean? It's like incoherent, even from a narrative form, or a narrative perspective. It's funny. Let's see. Wolfo said, if it explains everything, it explains nothing. All Abrahamic God claims. Yeah, it's like a magic, right, thing. And you know what I mean? Like magic is the thing that explains everything and nothing simultaneously, but yeah, and it's just such an old way of thinking. We don't think that way anymore, It's like, oh, sure, it's magic until, like the answer isn't magic until demonstrated otherwise. That's what they seem to think. Like, well, why is lightning there? Well, magic until demonstrated otherwise. And then it's the God of the gaps, just keeps getting smaller and smaller. The gaps close in on themselves, kind of thing. Right? Look at the tree set. Don't call me sir. I work for a living. I work. Oh, do sirs not work for a living? That's interesting. I've never heard that one. Trying to convince him that his depression is punishment for the sin. Ugh, yeah, that is just that's dangerous. That's so fucking dangerous, man. Please, oh God, it irritates me that people can be out there doing stuff this irresponsible, and so many people don't catch it that he's actually getting people hurt. Comfort praise, this Khaleesi said, comfort praise on the surrender and doubtful. He prays on the surrender. I can't understand. But and doubtful. I mean, I'd say that being doubtful is good. I think he prays on. I think you're right. You're close. I think he preys on the people that were like raised in the church that never really did like what a lot of atheists do, where we actually like go in and investigate and are very clear with ourselves about why we don't believe what this thing, and like literally go through and find the reasons why we don't believe. It's just people that like, oh, I was raised in the church or whatever, and then I just sort of like stopped thinking about it. You know what I mean? Just kind of was like, oh yeah, I was good. And if anybody asked them, they'd be like, are you a Christian? They'd be, yeah, I'm a Christian. But they just sort of stopped thinking about it, stopped going to church, stopped like paying attention to it or whatever. They didn't actively go, I don't believe this. Like, let me look at the belief system and then go, oh yeah, this doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Here's why this is wrong. I don't believe any of this. It's not those people. It's the people that just, kind of didn't really think about it anymore, because it's just it was just, just sort of faded over time or whatever. Those are the people that he can fuck with because they hadn't really thought about why they don't think it's true. They just, so like I said, it just kind of slipped away from them.
Itself, the painting is evidence of the painter. And when you look at the sky, that's God's painting for you. The Bible says the heavens declare the glory of God.
No, the sky is there because of the atmosphere, because of the sun and the whole thing. Anyway,
blueness of the sky, the puffiness of the clouds,
the puffiness of the clouds are what it's like we know why clouds anyway.
Flowers and the trees, all these things are so beautifully and fearfully and wonderfully made. Plus, look in the mirror. You may not like what you see, but that's God's creation, giving you eyes, lungs, brain to think.
This guy is so like he's trying so hard to not. Like I know he just wants to look at him. He's like having to look down. And you're like, I'm sure there's that noise going on in his head. Don't make the laugh noise. Don't do it.
with blood in your veins, a skeleton to hold you up and skin to hold it all in. Fearfully and wonderfully made. So throw atheism out the door. So Isaac Newton said atheism is so thoughtless. And it really is. It's just not thinking very deeply. So
right. Yeah. It's, you know what is thinking deeply? Just deciding that you're right about a God sending himself to sacrifice himself to himself, to convince himself to save the world from, again, himself. Right. And it's not weird at all to pretend to eat him, and drink his blood. That's not weird or anything. That's thoughtful, actually. Drinking your God's blood is very thoughtful. That is so much more rational than just saying we don't know and not being convinced of claims until they've have good reason to be convinced of those claims. That's what's rational. It's pretending to eat the God that sacrificed himself to himself. Yeah, that's it.
you're going to think about what we talked about?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give you a Gospel of John. Do you know what that is?
I believe I've heard of some.
It's the fourth book of the New Testament. And a little
Dude,
book
this
called-
dude is really either he's like messing with him or he really is very unfamiliar with Christianity, which is very interesting to me. You don't find too many people that are like, I don't know what the Gospel of John is. You know what I mean? Most people like, even if you're a Christian or not, most people are like, oh yeah, I know what that is, but that's so interesting.
Save yourself some pain. Let me grab it for you.
The passion you're giving in a belief for the foundation of life is immaculate, sir. I respect it. I love it. I love passion, and if it's honest passion like the one I'm feeling from you, I'll believe it.
Jeez. Wolfo said, I looked at my wife with lust before we got together. Then we had premarital sex, premarital sax lessons. Got got pregnant. Then married 2 weeks before we had tiny human. If we didn't do a lust, we wouldn't have the baby. Yeah, because that's actually what lust is for, right? It's for those babies. That's how that works. It's almost like it's required for people to have babies. In order to keep the species going. Which is why it's so ridiculous that that's something that this guy tries to use to manipulate people, like acting like it's a bad thing. The thing that you literally have to do, the thing that you can't help doing. It's genetically predisposed. Like, it's so stupid. Oh, it drives me crazy. So I'm gonna go through a couple comments here at the very end, and we will. I'll wrap it up. Oop, wrong one. Let's see here. And I'll wrap it from there. And yeah. So let me see here. We got looked at Winfrey said, yeah, I'm so mad at Ray for this. It's basically weaponizing the person's emotions against them. This person opened up about having attempted suicide, and Ray said, good, you deserve death. Yeah, that's exactly, it's crazy to me that people can't see how harmful this guy is from within their belief system. I don't know. I mean, I haven't really talked to a whole lot of Christians, but it seems to me that his whole shtick is something that they wouldn't even, it's something that like so many different Christians do. And that really freaks me out in the sense of like, just this belief system in general, how many people has it led to harm, because of this shame shit. That this emotionally manipulating people that, that have issues that are directly tied to the type of manipulation that they are pushing on them. It's fucking disgusting. Wait, did I read the whole thing? Yeah. Okay. Look at the tree said, that kid looks like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. He does. Wow. Just need to see him putting on some lipstick. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. Yeah. That's a great movie. It's not as scary as I thought it would be. I'm going to be honest. I always thought that movie was going to be so scary. I was like gripping the couch waiting for it. Like, oh man, this is really going to get me. As a Christian, I wasn't really allowed to watch any scary movies. And I remember seeing that was like the first scary movie I ever really saw and was like, oh, okay, this isn't actually that scary. Well, I thought this was supposed to be like horrifying and everything, and it ended up just being a cool movie. Like it was just a fun movie, a thriller, whatever, right? Not really a horror, but anyway, it's a great movie though, and you're absolutely right. He does look like Buffalo Bill. Once again, they call me Buffalo Bill. Khaleesi said, suffering eyes not working well today. Well, oh, I'm sorry. That sucks. You talking about your eyes? Oh, that sucks. Working. Gotcha. Yeah. Comfort is excellent. Comfort is an excellent snake oil salesman. That is, yeah. I mean, he really is just the used car salesman of street apologists. You know what I mean? Like yeah. God, and the way he talks, so fake. It's so fake sounding. I don't understand how he can have like millions of subscribers with how fake his inflection sounds. Everything sounds like he's just lying. He just sounds like a fucking liar. I love you. I do. I swear. Don't walk. Please stay. Please. It's just all like this like weird manipulative fucking tone that he's got. And it's so obviously, yeah. Christopher said, true, look at the televangelist and even Trump admitted they're hustlers. In fascination of its affection, in fascination of its effectiveness. I know that's the thing that really gets me, is just that this works. Like, why does this work so well? But I'm thinking, here's why: because a lot of us don't have access to good mental health care, right? If you look at most of the insurance companies, it's not covered, right? So a lot of us aren't getting the help that we need. And a lot of the help that we need is in relation to our being disappointed with ourselves for choices that we've made and things that we're, dragging ourselves over the coal. We tend to be pretty hard on ourselves, especially if we have trauma. A lot of times trauma responses is to blame yourself for your own trauma, so, and we live in America where we don't have access to healthcare or good healthcare anyway that includes mental health care. They'll keep you just well enough to keep going to work. They don't give a fuck about your mind. You don't need a mind to go to work, do you? Yeah, it's fucking stupid. But I think that's why. And so here in America, it's so much easier to take advantage of people because we don't have access to mental health care, stuff like that. So, oops. But let's see here. Michael said JWs came to my door 2 days ago. I told them before they even tried, I'm an atheist. Have a good day. One time I just showed them where their God said he created evil. They were floored. I know I love that one. That is a fun one because like I didn't know that. When I was a Christian, I was a fundamentalist. I read the Bible like 4 times. Swear I did not remember that verse when I can't remember who it was. A debate that I watched, and they mentioned that verse of God saying he created evil. Some versions say calamity, but it's the same concept, you know what I mean? But he was basically saying everything good and bad I created. Like, so you can't really say that he's good because it's almost like that Shermer thing. Like, if he's perfect, like a perfect God can only create perfect things. The world is imperfect, therefore God doesn't exist. Like you can do stuff like that in these, you know what I mean? Anyway, Khaleesi said, I bet there are strings attached to that love. Exactly. Yeah, they don't know what unconditional love is. Are you kidding me? It's the most conditional love you could possibly have is religious love. It's all has to do with just as long as you're thinking my thing, then I'll love you. I'm gonna run around saying that I love all these people, but it's such obvious lies. It's like you only love them as far as you can manipulate them. Love bombing is a terrible thing. Oh god, I can't stand it. It's disgusting to me. Like when they fucking show up and just start saying that they love me, I would lose my fucking shit. I'd just be like, how, say one thing about me, you know? My likes and dislikes are pretty fucking public, Tell me one thing about myself that I haven't told you right now. Because if you can't say something like that, you don't love them. That's not how love works. Wolfo said, Holy Book goes kind of like this: something, 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 only God can judge, something, something. Now go judge everything and everybody. That's excellent. That is exactly what it is, too. Website said, oh, Blaster Master, what's up? Hey. Website said, guys, things so hard to fake pious repose. I think if he cracked up into a belly laughter, this video would get so much better. I know, right? The smiley dude who was just trying so hard to not just laugh in Ray's face. I know. I wish he would have just laughed in Ray's face and then turned to his friend and be like, do not internalize any of this asshole's bullshit. Do not internalize it, okay? Because this guy's a fucking idiot, just trying to manipulate people on the street to spread his fucking brainwashed religion that he can't defend, beyond, oh, but a painter, painting can't paint itself. So therefore my God is the right one. And like, yeah, that's not poor reasoning at all. Talking about atheists being foolish. Go fuck yourself, you moron. Just deciding you're right about a bunch of shit you can't demonstrate. Let's see. Smashing the Patriarchy said, I always have money for weed because I don't gamble. See, another good reason not to gamble, so you can smoke weed. Let's see. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. I don't know. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. I'll get that one. Is that sounds like a song lyric. Is that a song lyric? Probably is, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see. Warm Food said, Michael, I'm an XJW. They tend to bug atheists more because it's blood on their hands for every person they don't save. Next time, just tell them you're an apostate. Oh, that's true. Yeah, they're all over atheists. They're not all over apostates. You're that's absolutely accurate. Warm Food. Let's see here. I actually gotta get running. It's 11:30. Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna have to cut this one short. But I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll find something. I think I'm gonna find something different, kind of like burnt out on Ray, and now he's sufficiently pissed me off this time with how dangerous his bullshit was today. Fucking with somebody with clinical depression like that. That's just abhorrent. And wow, just you don't get lower than that. You just don't. It's disgusting. But if you want to get low in the bedroom, go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Just go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout to get your exclusive offer. And that's Brently at checkout. Get your butt some stuff. Get all the butts, all the stuff. Your butt wants it. If it could talk, it'd let you know, and maybe it does. Maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe it's an Ace Ventura type of situation. I don't know. But get the butt some stuff. If you want to support the show in other ways, become a patron, patreon.com /punkapostate. And I'm putting up stuff up there as often as I can. And if you want to just do a one-time payment at Cash App, our cash tag is Punkapostate, all one word. So if you want to do that, it's always much appreciated. And seriously, there's anything you can do helps. It's gotten kind of crazy lately, and really do appreciate anything that y'all can do to help out. But the main thing, though, is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we'll see you next time.